Hello, everybody. Welcome to Homeownership Heroes. I'm your host, Brian Burjans, and today we're joined by a special guest, John Bell III, Deputy Director of Loan Guarantee Service. John, thank you for joining.
Brian, thank you for having me. Pleasure anytime I get a chance to speak about veterans and the VA Home Loan Program. I appreciate the time.
Well, thank you again. I know you're a busy guy, and we got a lot of stuff to cover today. I got tons of notes, and our audience, obviously realtors and loan officers alike, are going to be really excited to hear some of the information that you share with us today. So let's just get right down to it. Why don't we kick off with, I know the VA has been working on a lot of stuff to help us out in the field, better service our veteran customers and active duty military. Why don't you take some time and talk about all the new technology and process improvements that might be coming our way?
Sure. We started really kind of transforming the way we do business to basically remain competitive. We really are serious about this being the veterans' best option and their home loan their home loan experience. Mm-hmm. So how do you do that? You have to make a product that people want. You have to make a product that's easy to accept or accessible, that veterans want to take advantage of, that you show savings, as well as from an operational standpoint, from a process for lenders and realtors. They want to offer the program because the characteristics of the veteran. We've got very strong performance, one of the best performed performance home loan programs out there, if not the best. It's about putting the right people in your neighborhoods, and studies show that veterans acclimate into the community, that they are they perform better than other programs. So it's not just about a low down payment program. It's about the actual options for veterans, because we show that veterans have money, they have assets, they have the requirements to take out any loan. They choose the home loan, because the VA home loan, because it saves them money. So we've done a variety of different things. We have improved the ability for veterans to the time it takes for them to get eligibility. We've reduced that time frame in the last 4 or 5 years from 26 business days down to less than 2. We have improved our phone customer service aspect. We've taken phones to where now we're answering them in 13 seconds, where veterans can actually talk to a live human being instead of to a email inbox, and ask and have their questions answered, as well as lenders and realtors and appraisers that participate in the program. So we've done a lot of things like that before we even get into the new Valerie Transition.
Sure. That's awesome. And real quick, so when you talked about eligibility faster, when somebody, that seems to be a hot topic, proving eligibility, what kind of process improvements long-term are going to be in effect to help people get a quicker eligibility?
So that's a great question. So the first thing was, how do we point veterans into an electronic system, so that those veterans that have taken out VA home loans before, those veterans that are going through the military the last 10 years, we have that information digitally. Why aren't we using that information to approve them faster and quicker? So what we did was we pointed all of the requests into an electronic format. So right now, 99% of our requests come in electronically. And from there, 65% of those are a determination is given automatically without human intervention. So what that has allowed us to do is improve that timeliness, as well as have our staff be able to concentrate on other areas of the program to improve those processes and procedures. So the next piece of that is, how do we improve that 65%, right? What are the things that, from a documentation standpoint, working with DOD for data transfers easier and earlier in the process? How do we get those pieces improved so that we continue to improve that timeline for veterans and cut down that the time it takes to get eligibility?
So real quick question, not to throw you a hard ball here or
Yeah.
fastball here, using a baseball term here, but so when folks are in the WebLGY system and they're doing stuff to try to get a certificate of eligibility, uploading documentation and all that good stuff, and of course most of the time, unfortunately, our industry has proven time and time again that we don't follow, like exactly what the VA might want. And they get the nice love letter back saying that, hey, you didn't give us what we want. Then they go back and finally get everything, and then they put it back in the system. Do you ever foresee a scenario down the road where instead of that that request going back to the beginning of the line, goes to a special kind of fast track line because they've already been in the pipeline for, say, X amount of days?
So what we are doing that will improve that experience is we're taking a holistic approach to the way that we are going to change our environment. Instead of just going out and buying a new system to enhance, we're going through what's called the Valerie Transition. And what the Valerie Transition will give us is for the first time, an agency is going to be able to look end to end. We're going to go from eligibility all the way through closing to servicing, all the way through even our property management platform, have everything in one environment so that we can understand the decisions that are made up front, how they transcend into performance at the end. So, and part of that would be the workflow changes for eligibility to help us understand, how to break up the processes into quick hits. And, where we're not having to look totally again at the entire file, for eligibility, but we're able to look at, only the aspect that we need to approve at that given time. So that'll help improve that situation moving forward. So we're in about a 3 to 4 year phase on that. So that's going to be a future iteration, but we're certainly welcoming it and excited for the opportunity to be able to show everybody what we can do.